trusted news source, ABC6 News at noon.
Oh, good afternoon to you folks. Thanks so much for joining us today for ABC6 News at noon. I'm Casey Kintz. We are tracking breaking political news today at noon. Rhode Island Congressman David Cicilline is resigning in June. He'll be the new president and CEO of the Rhode Island Foundation. Let's get you right out to ABC6 News reporter Yanni Tregellis, who's getting a reaction today from the governor and others. Yanni live at the Rhode Island Foundation today. Yanni, good afternoon.
Yeah, Casey, an absolutely bombshell announcement this morning. Congressman David Cicilline will step down as congressman effective June 1st and then take over as president and CEO of the Rhode Island Foundation after 7 terms in the House of Representatives. And in a statement announcing that move, the congressman called the new job an unexpected one, but added it's an extraordinary opportunity to have a direct and meaningful impact on Rhode Islanders. Now, in over a decade in Congress, Cicilline has been a part of several Democratic leadership committees in Washington, including the Foreign Affairs and Judiciary Committee. And Cicilline will replace Neil Steinberg, who has led the foundation for 15 years. He said it's time to retire, and speaking to us this morning, Steinberg called the congressman a perfect fit for the job.
David knows the nonprofit community. He knows the leaders in the state. He's got a great network to be able to bring national resources potentially to Rhode Island, but it's his passion, his commitment, and his knowledge, I think, that will be the key attributes.
And Governor Dan McKee also weighing in on the announcement this morning, saying he spoke to the congressman today, saying that Cicilline told him this move will put him in a spot that will get him to the roots of his leadership.
I think it's a great match. It's going to be good for the state of Rhode Island, but I can tell you it's going to leave a hole in that office because he has moved up in leadership significantly.
And as for what's next, a special election will have to be held to replace Cicilline's seat in Congress. The Department of State says that the governor will have to request that special election. We did ask Dan McKee when he may be doing that. He did not give us any sort of a time frame. And as for who may step into that role and try to run for that District 1 seat, Central Falls Mayor Maria Rivera saying that she is weighing the opportunity, as well as East Providence Mayor Bob De Silva. And we also asked Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos if she may be interested in the job. She said she is still weighing her options after that announcement. We're live in Providence. Yanni Tregellis, ABC6 News.
Yeah, a lot still to come with that, Yanni. Thank you. An ABC6 News update today. Pawtucket police have found that missing 71-year-old man we told you about this morning. Yao Silva was found this morning. Police say he was taken to the hospital to be treated due to weather exposure. Let's move to the weather now and take a live look outside on this lunch hour. Trying to find the best words for this, but, pretty blah. It's chilly. It's rainy out there. We've dealt with that much of the morning today, and I think you feel that so much because of coming off of what we had yesterday. And Nick, we talked about that a little bit this morning. It's not spring yet. Not even close.
It's just such a big change, right? Because we just had some really mild weather lately, and now we're really back to the typical February weather. 36 right now, feeling like 32 with that light wind, so a little bit of a chill out there. And thank goodness the wind isn't blowing hard today, because it would really add a lot of chill to the air because it is very damp and cool out there right now. Everywhere across southeastern New England, Massachusetts, Rhode Island is just under 40 degrees pretty much, except for Westerly. There you go, 40 degrees in Westerly right now. Visibility is good, but look at Worcester, 0. You don't see that often. It's thick fog there. Actually, that reporting station is up about 1,000 feet at the Worcester Airport. So they're up in the cloud, actually. A cloud at the ground is fog, right? So if you're traveling towards the Worcester area, you might encounter some of the fog there as you get up into the hills. But this system is sliding out. It moved through this morning. Most of us got rain, but there was some snow in some parts of Rhode Island, especially the northwestern Providence County, Western Kent County as well, and it's all gone now. And off to the west, we have another little batch right over here in central Pennsylvania and western New York. That's going to be moving in and this evening. So you see 7 o'clock, it's getting close to us here. So maybe 8, 9, 10 o'clock, it'll roll through with just a few rain showers. After that moves through, then we have some partial clearing. And the temperatures drop close to 32. And it will be quite damp from that shower. So where there's a shower and then it cools off, even though the air temperature might be 36, 38, the ground could be 32. So there could be a couple of icy spots out there. So if you're traveling tonight, watch out as you approach intersections, or especially if you're walking on a walkway or something like that. Wednesday, 4 o'clock, we've got low to mid 40s, and then this system comes in tomorrow night. It's initially going to give us a little bit of snow and sleet, and then it's going to change over to rain. So I don't think it's a problem for Thursday. I think it is a rain event for Thursday. Cloudy the rest of the day. We got that light shower coming in around 8 o'clock or so tonight, and we stay in the 30s. And the overnight lows, of course, go down to about 30 degrees, 32 for tomorrow morning. So chilly start. We'll talk about more cold air in that 7-day forecast, unfortunately, and another chance of some snow. That's in it, too, coming up.
Much more February-like, Nick. Thanks. We'll check back in. Moving now to the war in Ukraine. In a speech this morning from Russian President Vladimir Putin condemning the U.S. and the West for supporting Ukraine. Putin also announcing during his State of the Nation address Russia will temporarily suspend its involvement in a critical nuclear arms agreement with the U.S., raising concerns Russia could restart nuclear testing. ABC's Justin Finch with the latest today from Washington.
One day after President Biden's unprecedented trip to Ukraine, Biden stopping Kyiv, marking the first time in modern history a U.S. president has visited a war zone where the U.S. has no military presence. Today, Russia's President Vladimir Putin appearing to fire back in his State of the Nation address. While not mentioning Biden by name, Putin blasts the U.S. and NATO allies, falsely accusing them of starting the war and saying Russia is using force in an effort to stop it.
Putin thought Ukraine was weak and the West was divided. He thought he could outlast us. I don't think he's thinking that right now.
Putin also announcing Russia is temporarily holding off participating in the New START nuclear arms treaty, the Obama-era nuclear arms reduction agreement between Russia and the U.S.
The announcement by Russia that it's suspending participation in New START is deeply unfortunate and irresponsible. We'll be watching carefully.
Putin's announcement heightening concerns about its nuclear weapons intentions as its war with Ukraine marks 1 year this week. President Biden not reacting to Putin's remarks at the start of a meeting with Polish President Duda.
We have to have a security in Europe. It's that basic, that simple, that consequential.
Duda and Biden in Poland discussing efforts to support Ukraine and fortify NATO allies' defenses. And Putin's speech came just hours before President Biden's address in Poland, where Biden said to rally support for Ukraine from ally nations and from the U.S. The White House also underscoring that Biden's speech is not meant to signal a head-to-head with Putin. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
And still to come today on the news at noon, the head of the EPA returns to Ohio today, his second visit in less than a week. The questions residents want answered as the fallout from that toxic train derailment continues. And controversy erupts over changes to beloved children's books by Roald Dahl. We'll go through the list just ahead. Welcome back. Turning to national headlines now, and the latest on that toxic train derailment in Ohio. Officials opening a medical clinic for residents as many complain of constant headaches and eye irritation after those hazardous chemicals were released into the air. The Biden administration now putting pressure on the train company at the center of this investigation. ABC's Rena Roy with more today.
More than 2 weeks after the fiery train crash in East Palestine, Ohio, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg pushing for transparency and answers for residents.
We are pushing forward a 3-part drive on rail safety. Things that we're doing at the Department of Transportation to raise the bar, things that we need help from Congress to do in order to hold rail companies accountable, and things that this industry needs to do differently.
The train company, Norfolk Southern, turning this church into a reimbursement center for affected families. The company has also put $1 million into a recovery fund for affected residents. 11-year-old Zach lives less than a mile from the site of the derailment. His family now living in a hotel.
Our face has been burning, headaches, massive, almost passing out.
The company also paying for the cleanup, announcing more than 7 tons of contaminated soil and over 1 million gallons of contaminated water have now been excavated from the derailment site. Adding in a statement, the material will be transported to landfills and disposal facilities that are designed to accept it safely. This comes as federal and state health officials open a health clinic for residents to address medical concerns after multiple complaints of skin, eye, and throat irritation.
They're doing everything they can to take care of the community.
The governors of Ohio and Pennsylvania are both making a visit to East Palestine today, along with the EPA administrator, hoping to help residents in this long road to recovery. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And there's more still to come today at noon. We're going to check back in with meteorologist Nick Morganelli. He's got a look at today's forecast and the 7-day as well. All ahead.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Nick Morganelli.
And welcome back to ABC6 at noon. We did have a little bit of snow here. Stillwater Pond in Smithfield. This picture sent in by Ken Otis. And yeah, some big wet snowflakes there and made for a pretty walk this morning. And our snowfall is just under 5 inches for the whole season. 37 inches is our average. And how does this winter compare? We've shown you this before, but in case you missed it, we're still number one as far as the leanest snow year right now. We need another 5 inches of snow to surpass that 9.7 set back in 79 and 80. And these dozen years here are all under 50% of our seasonal snowfall average. So it has happened before. It certainly looks like it's happening again. And we also will get just a little bit of snow perhaps on Sunday. We'll get a little bit tomorrow night with some sleet, but it's not going to equal 5 inches. So as of the end of February, we're still going to be in the #1 spot. As we look at our warm February so far, after starting off chilly, we're still, 18.6 degrees above the average for yesterday. It was so warm in the morning, and then it continued to warm during the afternoon. So we're looking pretty good. I do have a blue shaded in already for Friday and Saturday because we will be below normal on those 2 days. We'll see what happens over the next few, though. Spotty rain showers after sunset tonight. It's in the order of 8, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there. We'll get a few rain showers moving in, clearing overnight, and it could be a few icy spots. As it clears, the temperature at the ground may drop pretty quickly, and it could be a little bit of ice out there. So just beware of that. Even though the air temperature sometimes is above 32, the ground can be already frozen. Snow, sleet Wednesday night, and then it's a rain event for Thursday, and it's a very cold, dry Saturday. And then we could get a little bit of snow on Sunday from a little Alberta Clipper system that's moving in. Those move very quickly. They usually starve for moisture, but nonetheless, it could give us something on Sunday. There goes our one system, one pulse of moisture moving out. Here comes another pulse from the west. That's moving through this evening, as I mentioned. And then we widen it out. We got another pulse of energy back in here. This is coming down from the northwest. We got another pulse coming in from the southwest. So they're coming together to bring us some inclement weather here. And we do have cold enough air that is going to be draining down from Canada thanks to a high pressure system that is anchored there. So cold air draining down into the system, creating the snow and sleet across the area tomorrow night. So that's what we're dealing with this warm front that will push far enough north, and the middle levels of the atmosphere get just warm enough. We're going to get some rain out of this on Thursday, and then most of this pulls away by Thursday morning. Here's 6:30 in the morning. We've got some ice just to our north and snow in northern New England. Good news for the skiers there. But for us, we're looking at rain, and then it comes to an end by midday Thursday. 30 degrees tonight, evening showers. We're clearing out late with a westerly wind at light speeds. 42 tomorrow, sun to start, clouds to finish, and then we get the evening wintry mix moving in. So it's a very changeable day tomorrow. Thursday, some rain showers and the icy mix to the north. If you're traveling northward out of Rhode Island, keep that in mind on Thursday. You're going to run into that. And then Friday is windy and sunny, 38 for the high. That's it. Look at Saturday, 15 to 30. That's a cold day right there. That's below normal. And then Sunday's cold too. We could have some snow showers or some light snow moving in, but we'll take one of these at a time. Is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. Yeah. Ease us into it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It is February after all. All right, Nick, thank you for that. Still to come today on ABC6 News at noon, listing the changes coming to Roald Dahl's kids' books, why words like fat are out, and the controversy over these changes. That's coming up. Welcome back. Trending now, the controversy over the writings of Roald Dahl, which included James and the Giant Peach and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Readers and fans sounding off after reports that many of his books will be updated with new language. ABC's Will Reeve has the story.
We're going to New York City!
Many of Roald Dahl's most famous stories have been turned into classic films, including James and the Giant Peach,
We can ask me out how we like
Matilda,
everyone N-O-R-T-Y. We're a little bit naughty.
and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
And this morning, The Telegraph reporting language in 10 of Dahl's 19 books will be altered or eliminated in new editions. Words like fat to describe characters have been removed, mother and father changed to parents or family, and descriptions of women's jobs have been updated. A spokesman for the Roald Dahl Story Company told ABC News, "It's not unusual to review the language used alongside updating other details," adding, "Our guiding principle throughout has been to maintain the storylines, characters, and the irreverence and sharp-edged spirit of the original text."
The BFG is described as wearing a black cloak. That's now been changed to dark cloak. This is all apparently motivated by a desire for greater inclusivity.
Prominent literary figures like Salman Rushdie blasting the decision to change Dahl's words, calling it absurd censorship. The CEO of PEN America, a writing community that advocates for freedom of expression, tweeting in part, "You start out wanting to replace a word here and a word there, and end up inserting entirely new ideas."
If you soften or make bland some of those choices of language, then perhaps you undermine the badness of the so-called bad characters, which pulls the rug from under the plot.
But some parents welcome the literary revisions. One mother writing, "I love the Roald Dahl books and have started reading them to my 4-year-old, but there are words and phrases used in there that are now understood to be harmful, and I'm pleased that small changes are being made so they're more inclusive. It also ensures they'll stay loved."
Still to come today on ABC6 News at noon, how a teacher in Utah raised way more money than he expected just trying to help students out paying for lunch. Plus, Nick's got one final check of that forecast. It's all coming up. Stay with us. Well, we'll leave you with this today. The original idea was to help students pay their outstanding lunch fees so they would not worry about how much they owe in the school cafeteria. Garrett Jones, a teacher at Rocky Mountain Middle School in Utah, created a TikTok video asking people to Venmo him $1 each. Well, the drive was more than successful, over $25,000 now in the school lunch kitty, they call it. So much that students at other schools will now benefit. Just came from $1 each. It's really, really incredible, helping out a lot of kids now. As we get one final check of the forecast today, Nick?
Yeah, one last look at the 7-day forecast. Sunny start tomorrow and a cloudy finish. Watch out tonight for a couple of icy spots overnight tonight after that little evening rain. But yeah, sunny start tomorrow, cloudy finish, and then tomorrow night an icy mix. And then Thursday we get, maybe it might cool off just enough at the end of the day. We might get another pulse of energy, giving us a little more wintry mix around here and before it clears out. Thursday night and Friday we're set up for a windy, cold, sunny day, and that'll take us into the first half of the weekend with the sunshine.
Again, I haven't look at Friday into Saturday morning.
Know.
Much like last
Cold
weekend.
again.
Oh, that's it. All right, Nick, thank you for that. Thank you, folks, for watching as well today. We do appreciate the news continues first at 4, and for news and weather anytime, you can check us out at abc6.com. Casey Cants, have a great rest of your Tuesday.